flying, dude. I've taken pills to fly for like 12 years. So I went to Europe last year, and normally I go to Europe and I just fly to the spot and I just stay there for weeks, you know? But I had to fly like a bunch of different times. So I was breaking off the little pieces to fly to make sure I wasn't freaking out. I just take my pills to fly, never at home. So I get back from Europe and I'm thinking everything is like cool. I put the pills away like normal and I just wasn't right. Yo, these panic attacks were just overcoming me like crazy. So I went to the ER. They were like, you didn't take enough pills to get like addicted to it. I don't know what's going on. So I don't know what happened. I went and seen a psychologist and they put me on like a pill program and it was just taper. It took me 5 months to taper off these pills. So in a 2.5 week trip, flying that much, taking them pills, I got caught up. So what you don't know is the side effect of taking pills to do away with anxiety is rebound anxiety. When I got home, I thought it was all good. Next thing you know, like I thought I was going crazy. I didn't want to leave my house. I didn't want to get in the car. I didn't want to do anything. Scared to do everything. Now I don't take any pills. And when I fly, I don't take pills when I fly. I just man the fuck up and get on the plane and fucking grab my dick and take a ride. It ain't even about it crashing. It's like once you get in there, you give it all up. You're just stuck on this plane and that's it. But I got entrapment issues apparently from when I was a kid. I was grounded so much, months at a time in my room, and I think that's what it comes from. It was good, wholesome trouble, but it just wasn't really enough to like spend 3 months in my room, you know what I'm saying? It was long, and it happened a few times. Crazy part, if I was grounded in the summer, when my dad would go to work, he would bang a nail on the outside of the door and put a rubber band from the door handle to the nail, so if I ever got out of my room when he was gone, he would know, because there's no way you could put the rubber band back on. So I just sat in there, man. I would have him record me Dukes of Hazzard on a little cassette tape and then just listen to shows of Dukes of Hazzard. It was crazy. I always use the internet to keep up on like what's good in everybody's different hood, you know? It was actually Colin McKay's idea to do like a whole video, like put all the videos together, where I wanted to do more of like the social side of it, get all the skaters talking together. And I don't know, it just sounded like a cool idea. All the videos all over, just put them in one spot. I'm totally a skate nerd and I watch the majority of the videos. And that's not even including the videos that we don't put up. I'm constantly watching, and the funny thing is I never really get tired of it. Nah, we don't censor it at all. Every now and then there might be something like that's just ridiculously racist or something real crazy like that. Then maybe we'll pull it off, but it has to get flagged. It's staying, dude. Like if they call me like some fucking piece of shit, over the hill, fucking whatever it stays. Like who am I to take that? I don't even know how to take the comments off. I'm good as shit at vert, like 8 feet under the coping. I like to do the early melon grab. That's one of my favorites. My favorite tray flip of all time was the Mike Carroll one down the 7 at Embarcadero. I don't even know if he made it or not, because in the footage they cut it like right when his wheels hit the ground, but that was the one that set it off for me for real. That was my roommate for like years, dude. We would drive from our apartment to FTC and we would pass the Fillmore projects on the way. And it'd be cold as shit out, you know? And this dude would roll the windows down and bump his stereo so loud and just mean mug all the dudes on like right in the front of the projects, you know? And he would just be mean mugging them. And I'd be like, come on, Lenny, roll up the window, you know what I mean? And he'd be like, nah, they ain't doing nothing. And every single day, they just got closer and closer to the curb. It was like they were expecting us, man. He just liked to prove to everybody that they weren't gonna mess with him. He always wanted to test everybody to the point to where they were just about to like punch him in the face or pull a gun on him or something, and then he would just go a different direction. I finally had to talk Lenny into taking like Geary Street instead of taking Fillmore Street to cut over instead of going through, because man, it was only a matter of time before we got jacked. Lenny was nuts, man. It was a busy day. There might have been like 100 kids skating, and the cops came in and they rushed heavy. Everybody took off running. Eric Uwadi had this cop chasing him, and the cop was literally running after him. He ran from the top and he jumped on his board and he did a kickflip down the 3 stair leading into the fountain, you know? And I'm telling you, this cop was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet behind him. Kickflipped the one, backside 180 the next 3, switch front 180 the next 3, and then did something down the last 3. Like literally right next to me, I watched this dude doing tricks down every single 3 stair while the cop was chasing him. That was literally the best thing I've ever seen. People can claim bullshit on it or whatever, but I've seen it. Well, I'll tell you this too. I also seen this cop come in and he was hiding behind the ledge, and Tony Montgomery was like standing over here, and the cop just tried to creep up behind him and went to grab him. Tony like shook him off, and the cop grabbed his ankle. He like kind of like kicked him off like that, and he started running. And then the other cop started chasing him too, and he jumped off like this 8 to 10 foot tall side of Love on the 15th Street side where the wall gets bigger. And then the cop also jumped off and compound fractured his leg. That one was nuts too. A year later, that cop was back in, skateboard task force. And I know y'all remember the cop, he had the ponytail. He was trying to like find himself through those days, you know what I mean? And I mean, he found himself. He got a good pass where people didn't like really heckle him, but I don't think they made it like super comfortable for him to be there, you know what I mean? But nobody like beat him up or jacked his board or anything like that. And it's a good thing though, because I think the dude will fucking murk everybody now. I think he took some crazy like Taekwondo shit and did all this stuff, and he's all big, and like, I'm glad I ain't fuck with him. Super psyched he's on DC. Super psyched. But that was Dallas though, man. Like, we were little gangsters back then, you know? It wasn't on some skate shit though. It was on like we brought guns to the mall and 7-Eleven because we would bet like pretty big money. Well, we thought it was big money on Mortal Kombat, and there were all other gangsters. There were certain moves that like had glitches in the game, you know, like they could pin you in the air and just keep hitting you, and if that happens, you're done. We try to like make that illegal, and if somebody did it and you were like, yo, you can't do that, I ain't paying you, and then they pull out a gun and you pull out I mean, you never knew, you know what I mean? So we carry guns. I had a blue deuce with a white pearl handle. It was tight. I did get chased around 7-Eleven one time. Dude with a gun aiming it at me, waving it at me, and he was throwing Snapple bottles. I beat him in Mortal Kombat, and he owed me money. He didn't have the money. He didn't shoot me. So that's a good thing. Next. I'm dirty ghetto to the core for sure. I may not look like it right now, but yeah. How am I a dirty ghetto kid if I live in Carlsbad? It's like, what's the old saying? It's, you can pull the kid out of the ghetto, but you can never pull the ghetto out of the kid. That's just it.
Walk up, I see like 15 skinheads.
It sounds fake, but I lived it. And I don't really lie.